Hey guys, in this particular video, we are going to be introducing graphing or an intro to graphing proportional relationships. But before, we need to review how to graph a point. Okay, so first, this should look familiar. This is your coordinate plane or your Cartesian plane, as it has also been identified in younger grade levels. But in your coordinate plane, you have two key points or two key axes. Okay, you're going to have an x-axis, and it's the one that is going from side to side or horizontal. Then you also have a vertical axis, that is your y-axis, and it's going up and down. So these are the directions, and they're going to help you plot your coordinate pairs. So again, you have a point, okay? And your point is going to be given in x, y format, which should look familiar to tables that I was used to coming up to in previous lessons, but we're going to get there, don't worry. Okay, so first I'm going to review plotting these points. So, okay, we're going to look at point A, B, C, and D. Point A is going to be located at +2, +3. Point B is going to be located at -3, +2. Point C is going to be located at -4, -1. And point D is going to be located at 2, -4. Okay, so again, x values come first, and then the y values come second. Also, if you ever forget, if you happen to sing your ABCs, you will realize that x becomes before y, so that is another way that you can remember which particular coordinate comes first. Okay, so your x value is going to tell you the direction by going left and right. So you always start out at what was called the origin. Your origin is the very center, and that point is located at 0, 0. So again, let me write this down. Your origin is the center, and those locations or those coordinates are at 0, 0. Okay, so let's start there and let's navigate to where 2, 3 is going to be. So starting from the origin, the x is going to let me know that I'm going 2 to the positives. Okay, so going over 1, 2, and that would be my horizontal shift. And then I'm going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to plot my point. And again, that was point A. Okay, let's go back to the origin for point B. We're going to go to the -3. So 1, 2, 3, and then +2. 1, 2. And that is point B. Okay, next we're going to do -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down -1. And that was point C. Next, we're going to do +1, 2, but then down -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was point D. Okay, so as you noticed with our coordinate planes, there were some key features that were happening here. Okay, so on this side of your x-axis, you have positive integers or positive directions. This half of your y-axis is positive, negative, and negative. Okay, so again, it's very key to remember which sections are positive and negative, and that x becomes before y. So we're using that skill from, again, previous grade levels and applying it to the 7th grade standard now. So I have a couple problems to go over that I printed out. Okay, in this particular case, we are talking about t-shirt cost. So use the table to answer these questions below. What does your x represent? What does your y represent? So first, let's think back to unit rates. Okay, and with unit rates, we had our cost per, in this case, it's going to be my t-shirt. Okay, so my unit rate in this case is going to be $8 per one t-shirt. So that starts to let me know that my x value are my shirts, because that, my cost is dependent on the amount of shirts that I buy. So my y-axis is my dependent and independent variables. So X represents shirts, and Y is representing my cost. Again, it depends. The amount of shirts, okay, is going to affect my cost, or cost depends on my shirts. So is this a proportional relationship? Well, we can find out by dividing each and every single one of these. Okay, and when I do so, remember, we do y over x. So we kind of go in reverse if you want to think of it that way. Okay, so over here, we're going to be 8 divided by 1, which is 8. Okay, 16 divided by 2, which is 8. And again, this is all review from a proportional relationship unit that we've been working on. 34 divided by 3 is 8. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 40 divided by 5 is 8. And 48 divided by 6 is equal to 8. So yes, this is a proportional relationship. And if I even want to go that far, I knew, again, my unit rate is $8 per shirt, which also leads me to my equation in the form of y equals kx, k being that constant of proportionality. So your equation this time is y is equal to 8x. Okay, but all of that, we are now kicking up in level, and we are plotting our coordinates on a graph. Okay, so each and single one of these created an ordered pair. So I'm going to write down below the different ordered pairs that I'm seeing from the table that I just created. Okay, so again, from the table that I created, I knew that I had an X and a Y. So 1, 8 was a coordinate pair, and again, I'm just writing out of my table in a set of parentheses. 2, 16. 3, 24, and again, you're going to see it as soon as I hit 432 that I am just picking out my values from my table and writing them in an ordered pair format. Okay, my X values first, my Y values second. Okay, I am now going to begin to plot my points on my coordinate grid that I have available down here. Let me just zoom out here a little bit so you can see the entire piece of the graph. Okay, so the first point that I'm going to do, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so I know I'm counting by twos in my graph. I just need to check that real quick. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, so we have 1, 8, 1, and then 2, 4, 6, 8. So there's a point. 2, this was 10, 12, 14, 16. We have a point. 3, 20, 2, 4, 24. We have a point. And then 4, 32, here's 30, and then up 2 would be 32. 5, 40, is that a point? And then 6, 2 below 50 would be 48. And again, I realized that my numbers or my lines, my scale here was going up by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, so forth and so on. So my scale was going up by twos, and I just plotted my points. 1, 8, 2, 16, 3, 24, 4, 32, 5, 40, and 6, 48. Okay, and again, that was just an introduction to graphing proportional relationships today. Make sure that you pause, review, rewind, rewatch this video as many times as you need to. And if you are watching this video during the 2020-21 school year while we are virtual learning, please make sure that these notes were taken on page 11 of your 7th grade math notebook. Best of luck today on your independent practice.